You how does it work, the workflows within the Easyredmine system. So in order to specify, for example, transition for the specific issue type, for the very specific type of the task, so we have to go to the administration, and then we have these three sections related to the task settings. First of all, the trackers. Trackers is something which could be, let's say, relevant to the issue type from, for example, Jira language. So if you would like to create, for example, a new issue type, so we can simply put there like a new tracker, and then it will be called like an epic. And every tracker is could be activated on the specific project, right? So we have to select, all right, I would like to keep this epic, for example, on the shop for the electronic devices, right? And clicking on the save. So now we do have an epic. And then if we would like to keep there some specific workflow, so we have to go again to the administration and the workflow. Before we will do that, just a small hint, we have also section for the task statuses, so you can easily create like a new status. So for example, if I would like to put in here like for the epic, that would be like a approval for the epic or for the requirement. Let's imagine that epic is representing requirement. We can put in here like a new status. I can put it in the order as I like, and now we can specify the workflow. It's much simpler than in, for example, Jira. So as you know, in the Jira, there are the schemas. So schemas is something like a meta layer. So next to workflow, you can define the concrete schema, which helps you like to apply that concrete, let's say, transition for the very specific project. In the Easyredmine, it's not project-based specific. It is, let's say, system-based specific. So it's more general. But you have to put there also another element, which is, for example, role. So you can set who will have permission to transition from one status to another status. In our case, I wouldn't complicate it. I will just put there all roles, and then we can select that, for example, epic as a tracker, and then I can put there all of the statuses, and voila, we do have, let's say, metrics table. The first column, this one, is representing the initial status, and another columns are representing the following statuses like the transition. So for example, if I would like to put there the condition that from new, I can move on to the, for example, in progress, and I can move on to from new to approval for the epic, right? So this is a very new status what we have created, and then, right, I can simply click save, and I can just right now edit the ones which are active. So voila, we do have, let's say, the visibility that from new, I can go to new, of course, to in progress, to approval for the epic, and done. If I would like to super simplify it, I can check everything, and now there will be simplicity to moving forward between the statuses on that particular tracker, which means like an issue type. What does it mean? So I can go right now to the specific project. I guess I have selected this one. I can put there, let's say, new task, which would be called like a test one. And then tracker is epic, right? Simply click save. And then I will have a chance to move on to the statuses what I have defined, like in progress, approval, done, right? So this is exactly what we have done on the workflow level. Next to the workflow of the transition, there is a, let's say, task field permission. This is also nice functionality, so you can set for the standard fields or even the custom fields if it exists. You can define like in which status, which is represented here by a column, in which status some fields are read-only or mandatory. Right, so let's imagine that estimated time you would require it for your developers, so it would be basically mandatory from certain status, right? So this is a section for the task field permissions. And then regarding to, for example, custom fields, because this is also very questioned area, so then we can go to the administration, again, custom fields, and you can simply put there, let's say, new custom field, which would be called, I will put it on the task level, let's call it like, it could be list, for example, the list of values, and I can call it like a technology, right? Technology, and then I can stick it to the concrete tracker, right? In my case, it would be Epic, and then I can also select the concrete project. So this is a project specific setup, by the way. So I can keep it on this our project, Epic, and then the values would be like a technology would be Java, C Sharp, and C++, for example. Oh, come on. Cannot find a plus. Yeah. And just I can, I can set it like use it as a filter, search it. So it would be searchable here in the box. Clicking on save, what will happen right now? I can refresh the page. And then the technology, like a new field, will appear, and I can select from the predefined list, right? So that's how the system is behaving. So there is no meta layer, no templates, no schemas. It's just like a simple configuration on the background. And for example, custom fields could be project specific, of course, the trackers, the issue types, and then the following transitions are general based on the general workflow.